Business editor Richard Southern joins us now. And Richard, after years of declining ridership, Greyhound is slamming the brakes on its Canadian operations.
It is hard to believe, isn't it, Erica, that Greyhound's going to be no more in Canada? I mean, these guys have been around in this country for 100 years in some form or another. But yeah, Greyhound Canada says they're closing up shop for good. They had stopped most of their routes a year ago when COVID hit, but they did keep some of the regional ones here in Ontario going. They are all going to stop, though, as of midnight tonight. You know, this comes amid dwindling ridership and, financial issues. The American company, which is called Greyhound Lines, they are still going to operate in the U.S., and they're still going to do their cross-border trips into Toronto when the border reopens. But all the inter-Canada travel on Greyhound, that's going to be gone for good. And, there are questions now, Erica, about should the provincial government, should the federal government step in and subsidize Greyhound, because these are very important routes for people. Not everyone can afford a $500 flight to Ottawa. You got to get on the bus instead, right? So this is a major issue that we're looking at here.
It is, yes. Definitely. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, Ontario's stay-at-home order has extended into June, and that's also when Woodbine is hoping to kick off its racing season.
Yeah, they haven't ran a race in Woodbine in quite some time, but they are hopeful. They have set now, Woodbine, an early June start date to get those thoroughbreds back underway. They hope that, the stay-at-home order will be lifted in June and they'll be able to start operating again. You may be thinking, hey, I don't really care about horse racing. I've never been to the track. But Woodbine CEO Jim Lawson tells me a lot of jobs in the province rely on it.
There are approximately 25,000 people in this province employed in this industry. We have approximately 4,000 or 5,000 people working at Woodbine every day. When you think of that relative to steel plants or auto plants in this province, this is one of the largest employer sites in the province. So it is extremely important, and we can do it safely, which has been our argument throughout.
Erica, he, like a lot of employers, hopeful that this will be the last of the lockdown and maybe come June things will start to get better.
Like all of us, I think, yeah. And finally, a couple of Canadian companies are reporting encouraging sales results even in the midst of a global pandemic.
Canadian Tire is one of them, Erica. They have emerged as a real winner here amid the pandemic the past 14 months. Canadian Tire today reported earnings way better than expected. Revenue was up almost 17%. Sales at the flagship Canadian Tire stores up more than 19%. This is a company that owns Sport Chek, and Sport Chek sales were up more than 18%. A lot of this is tied to Canadian shopping for fitness equipment because they can't go to the gym, shopping as well for, outdoor garden and backyard equipment and that sort of thing. We also got some good results in from Canada Goose today. Canada Goose reporting a $2.9 million fourth quarter profit. Revenue was up more than 30%. E-commerce sales at Canada Goose surging 123%. This is a company that is diversifying away from those expensive parkas and into other types of wares as well.